Um, now, um, one problem I've always had with having friends is the concepts they start sitting there talking about um, how they walked a mile in my shoes. Like one of my friends, he said he walked a mile in my shoes because A, B, C, D, and all this other stuff he wanted to talk about his past. And I felt like almost telling him, well, how can you walk a mile in my shoes? On the grounds of, um, how many siblings do you have? Because last time I counted, you have four sisters, no brothers, and you lived in a 5 bedroom, 3.5 bath house on 5 acres with a music studio in the back, with a swimming pool big enough to have a diving board and a slide and a jacuzzi. And you were homeschooled all your life, where I was going to public schools in a big city. So it's like basically if you never to sit there and to talk about things about how you walked a mile in somebody's shoes is not 100% true, because then I could point out all the little flaws of why you've never walked a mile in my shoes. And his mother uh, started sitting there saying the same thing to me about how she walked a mile in my shoes. And I'm sitting here, I feel like telling, because I made the remark about going to Promise Keepers, and they're talking about it's if a man believes in a God and goes to church, there's a 95% chance that the family will believe in a God too. It's 68% when it comes to the wife, and 17, she's like sitting there, oh, you could she's telling me that I could convince my family to be believe in a God because her brother, she was 17 and drinking, and her brother managed to convince her and her parents to be religious and go to church and blah blah blah. And I felt like telling her, well, you're born about 25 years before I was, so you remember a time when there was no computers, no cell phones, um, slash smartphones, no emails, no little to no video games, no DVD players, no VHSs, no Blockbuster. So to sit there and say, "Oh, you walked a mile in my shoes because of uh, this, that, and the other," when you're born 25 years before me, and you remember things that I don't remember because I've never grew up in that time of no DVD players and computers and blah blah blah. And plus, I felt like telling her, you also have a sibling and you're a female. There's one thing that women can do that a man can't do, and that's have kids. So to sit there and say, oh, I walk a mile in your shoes, you have to start thinking, okay, have I really walked a mile in that person's shoes? Because there's things that they've probably been through that I never been through, and stuff that I've been through that they've never been through. So before you start talking about, oh, I walked a mile in your shoes, you need to think, really? Um, and plus, it's like we're all different. We think differently. We act differently because how we were raised and the situations that we grew up in. Um, so people need to stop sitting there saying, "Oh, I walked a mile in your shoes. I need to walk a mile in your shoes." And this is why people need to think before they speak about saying that they walk a mile in somebody's shoes.